Then the tour heads to the Valley, the place everybody knows, 125th Street.
Hallo Deutsche, komm hier auf Fernsehen.
On 125th Street, they get to be on their own. I let them out for about a half an hour. They can walk around, see the paintings on the steel gates by Franco, this very talented and affable painter of Harlem. They can buy some of his souvenirs. They can see the famous Apollo Theater. They can get a bite to eat here, and just in general feel free to walk around and realize that they can freely walk around in Harlem quite safely.
Where are you from? Barcelona. Yo soy catalán.
No, you're
A veces soy gallego. Pero gallego engañado, ¿eh?
Tout ce qu'on peut dire sur Harlem, tout ce qui se dit sur Harlem, quoi.
For her, visiting New York, cannot be, complete without visiting Harlem.
We heard from Franz that Harlem could be a place we should go, and of course we are impressed.
I'm from Japan. This place, appreciate he.
In case you're not understanding, he says in Japan, when they talk about New York, Harlem is on the must-see list.
Yeah.
Born and cool in Panama, Franco Gaskin, otherwise known as Franco the Great, is known internationally for his new art form, painting on metal. But to many, the self-taught artist, dubbed the Picasso of Harlem, is known for adding beauty and life to 125th Street. And he is Manhattan Magazine's Person of the Week.
Just after the death of Martin Luther King, 125th Street and maybe other places had nothing but these iron gates, iron doors. And it looks very, very ugly, because before it was like you could see through. So I decided to do something. So I went to one store and tell them what I'd like to do. He said, go ahead, there's no problem. I finished it in one day. This was my first experience painting in the metal. Hundreds of people passed by, and they say to me one word, tomorrow those gates going to be graffitied. And I was very annoyed by that, because I turned to them and says, why is going to be graffiti? You don't have to be graffiti. They said, but look around you, everything else is graffiti. I said, why you don't say you hope there's no graffiti and the gates tomorrow? So what I was trying to express to them is, if you think positive, and what they think do not always have to happen. So I continue painting them. And they never graffitied my gates for the last 13 or 14 years.
So what inspires Franco?
There's enough gates to paint paintings for every individual, I think. All types. And my thing in life was always philosophy and psychology. So a customer asked me to do a painting, and he gave me a list of words that he wanted to put up there. And I said, the less wording you put up there is the better. You understand? So I come up with think positive. So I began to paint this with the vault and the money, and it has nothing to do with the bank, actually. All it has to do with is how you think. If you think positive, it's to infinity you can think. If you think negative, the doors are closed. And since the bank, to me, or the vault, represent one of the more difficult door to open in life, I decided to use that as like an entrance of your mind. If you can find the combination to that door, which is thinking positive, then your view in life is into infinity and the vaults of your mind. And money will be always at your feet, all because you're thinking positive. Martin Luther King gate. I've always wanted to do something for Martin Luther King, and this was my way of expressing my love and my admiration for him. I did one a couple years ago with a tear in his eyes, the tear, people ask me, well, why the tear? You know, I says, well, it seemed to sadden him because for the travel and the effort that he went through, and we're still nowhere as yet. So that in his absence, I title it, Remember, I Had a Dream. It is for you to finish it. Because so soon we forget, you know what I mean? So this is like reinforcing his dream. This is ours too. I never want to go into politics or so, you know, things of that nature, depicting race and all of that. But there were a couple of incidents that happened during the time that I did that forced me to be a little bit more political and see that I had the chance to say something. And I tried to say through my painting. And that painting shows the black man, even when he's free from the chains and the shackles, he's still not exactly free. He's still naked and wondering what is his next move to be. And as you walk through the painting, you will see something look like the Statue of Liberty, but it's not the Statue of Liberty. She's wearing Afro flag and an American flag. So that makes her Afro-American. And she's holding up a scale of justice, but one of the scales is off balance. And as you go on again, you see there's a man with a sleeve rolling up, ready to work. That's what we should be doing, you know. Rolling up our sleeves and letting things happen. And then I show you, it won't be long, our dream is to have a black man coming out of the White House someday. And as I can remember, there was two faces, a man and a woman, no longer walking with their head down, but they can lift their head up high and be proud.
Unlike many professional artists, Franco did not receive any formal education. Artistically speaking, the journey into the world of art and later magic began when he was a young child.
Something very, very peculiar happened to me when I was a kid. I fell from a 3-story building and it landed right on my head. And the result of that, I was in a coma for about a month, and my head was quite swollen. So, as I began to grow as a kid, my parents noticed that I couldn't speak at all. I used to make a lot of sounds, you know, like groaning and trying to express myself. And my childhood life wasn't pleasant at all. It was a lot of rejection and a lot of pain. And all through my schooling was about the same. Until I was about 9 or 10 years, an idea came to me that if I could do something that my peers can do, then maybe I will be, you know, accepted. So the idea came into me just like that one evening, and the idea was to study magic. So I began to practice magic, buy books, and so forth and so forth. So the magic gave me something that the painting did not do for me. Yes, as a youngster, I could draw and paint, and people used to admire that. But I felt myself very limited. I wanted to communicate with words and with people. And so the magic allowed me to go into another level of my situation. And I began to do magic, and everyone was admiring me to do this magic. How could you do it? Occasionally you have to speak in magic. You have to explain yourself. And that is one of the keys that helped me to project myself. In the painting line, I didn't really have to say anything because a picture worth a million words, as they say. So as I got older, I could project myself, would be more articulate, and so forth. So I went into the language thing because I always figure that a person that can speak more than one language is worth more than one person. I'm studying 5 languages all the time. French, Spanish, Japanese, Italian, and English. Will come in. Nihongo ego. Nihongo ego. Nihongo desu. Nihongo. Okay. Okay. My friends and my parents, used to call me names, dummy. In my country, when you couldn't speak, then you must be dumb. Not mentally, but you